Welcome to Chemitutorial channel. Today we will discuss the topic colloids and their classification. So first of all we would like to discuss what are colloids. Colloid is actually not a substance, it is actually a state. For example, sodium chloride solution in water, it behaves like a true solution. It's not a colloid, but when sodium chloride is dissolved in benzene, it behaves like a colloid. So what is actually a colloidal solution? It is just an intermediate between a true solution and a suspension. What is true solution and what is a suspension? So let us discuss their particle size and discuss. So first let's talk about what is a true solution and what is a suspension and what is a colloid. So actually a true solution is a homogeneous solution in which the composition is same throughout the solution, and the particle size in true solution is too small. It is very small and is just below 1 nanometer. The size is below 1 nanometer. And in case of suspension, the particle size is more than 1000 nanometer. Quite big size. So big that it could be seen with the naked eye. But in case of the colloidal solution, the size is in between the size of the true solution particles and the suspension particles. So in case of colloidal solution, the particle size is in between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. So it is an intermediate stage between the true solution and the suspension. So now let us define what is a colloidal solution. A colloidal solution is a heterogeneous solution in which the particle size is between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. However, a colloidal solution gives the appearance of a homogeneous mixture, though it is heterogeneous. Now let us discuss few features of the colloidal solution. The features of colloidal solution. Few common features we are discussing here. First, it's heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means the composition is not same throughout. Second thing, we cannot separate its components by just filtration. It cannot be separated by filtration. It has two components, that is dispersed phase and dispersion medium. We are coming to that. So those two components could not be just separated by simple filtration. Now very important point of the colloidal solution is that is the particles of the colloidal solution, they scatter the light, and scattering of light is shown by an effect which is called Tyndall effect. That is, they show Tyndall effect, and they also show Brownian movement. Brownian movement is the zigzag movement of its particle. When seen under the microscope, you can see the colloidal particles moving in a zigzag random fashion. So that motion is called Brownian movement. So the particles, they also show the Brownian movement. Colloidal particles also do not get settled down. It's quite stable. They don't settle down when left undisturbed. Quite stable. So these are the few common features of the colloidal solutions. So now come to the next point, that is what are the phases of a colloidal solution. Phases, or you can say what are its components. So now let's discuss its components or phases. There are two main phases of the colloidal solutions. One is dispersed phase and the other is dispersion medium. You can also call the phases as components. Phases of a colloidal solution. A colloidal solution has two phases or two components. One is the dispersed phase, which is a solute like component. We don't call it solute, actually means the component which is present in the smaller amount. And the second is the dispersion medium. Dispersion medium is that component which is present in large amount. It is just solvent like component. So now, depending upon the physical state of the dispersed phase and dispersion medium, let us classify the colloids, or let us see how many types of colloids are possible depending upon the physical state of the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. For that, we will draw a table here indicating the physical state of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So now let us draw a table here. First we will write the dispersed phase, then we will write here dispersion medium, and in the next column we will mention the type of the colloid, then we will give their examples. So this way, draw a table here. So let's take first dispersed phase as solid. Dispersed in solid medium. So it is a solid in solid colloid and the name is solid sol. Its examples can be alloys. Alloys are there in solid in solid. Then gemstones are there. Gemstones are also an example of solid sols. In addition to their colored glass is also one of the examples of the solid sol. Then next that we take is solid dispersed phase, suspended in liquid. So we can say that it is a solid in liquid type colloidal solution, and its example, and this type of colloidal is called a sol. Simply we call it a sol. So solid in liquid type sols, we can take the example of the starch, cell fluids, etc. So these are the examples of the solid in liquid type. Then paints, gold sol, etc. also come under this category. Then next we take solid dispersed phase, and the dispersion medium we are taking here a gas. So it is called solid in gas type colloid and the name is aerosol. So in case of aerosol we can take solid in gas, we can take the example of dust storms, dust particles suspended in air. It's an example of the solid sol. Then more we can take example of smoke also. Smoke also comes under the category of the aerosols. Now coming to the next type. So in the next type we are taking the example of the liquid dispersed phase in, and dispersion medium we are taking here as solid. So it is liquid in solid type colloidal solution, which we call usually as gel. So example of the gel are cheese, butter, jellies, hair gel, etc. These are all the examples of the. So in the CBSE exams, question may be asked what is a gel. So in answer to that you have to write that it is a liquid in solid type colloidal solution. So next we are taking here liquid in liquid, in which both dispersion medium and dispersed phase both are liquids, we call it as emulsion. So the example of emulsion is milk, in which liquid fat is present in the liquid milk proteins. So medicines, cosmetics, all are the examples of emulsions. Next we take the example of liquid in gas type. It is also called aerosol. So liquid in gas sprays can come under this category. Insecticide spray, clouds also can come under this category, in which water vapors are suspended in the air. Mist, fog, all are examples of liquid in gas type aerosols. So gas in solid is that example, in which we take the example of rubber, foam, etc., and this is also called solid sol. Rubber, foam, etc. Sponge also comes under this category. Next we take the example of gas in liquid. So in this type of colloidal solution, it is named as foam. So soap, lather, then whipped cream, these come under this category. Soda water also comes under this category, in which gas is dissolved in the liquid water. So this is the classification based upon the physical state of the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So next classification of the colloids we will do based upon the type of interactions, nature of attractive forces or repulsive, whatever forces between the dispersed phase and dispersion medium are there. So depending upon the nature of forces, colloidal solutions are further of two types. This was earlier we have done on the basis of the physical state of the phases. Now the second is the classification. This is second classification on basis of nature of forces. Between dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So based upon this classification, the colloids are mainly of two types, lyophilic and lyophobic colloids. So now let us see what are lyophilic and what are lyophobic colloids. So lyophilic colloids, they are generally very stable, they are of reversible nature. What is the meaning of lyophilic? Lyophilic means they are liquid loving, and these are liquid hating colloids. So these are liquid loving colloids and these are liquid hating. Liquid loving means the dispersed phase particles, they have attraction with the dispersion medium particles, but here they are liquid hating. These are reversible also, easily formed. Easily formed by just mixing the dispersed phase and dispersion medium, but these cannot be easily formed by simple methods, and these are of irreversible nature. Once they are coagulated, they cannot be reconstituted by just mixing the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So we call them as irreversible nature. Moreover, they are not easily formed. So now we have examples of these liquid loving as well as liquid hating. Under the category of the lyophobic come the starch, gum, gelatin, etc. Just Mixing the two phases, we can again make these colloids. So examples are starch, gum, gelatin, etc. Rubber also comes under the category of the lyophilic. So now for the lyophobic comes the examples of the arsenic sulfide sol, then silver sol, gold sol, aluminium hydroxide sol, all come under the category of the lyophobic sols. So this is also a difference between the two type of sols. Now we will discuss the classification of the colloids. On the basis of size of the particles. So based upon the size of the particles, the colloids can be of three types, that is multimolecular, macromolecular, and associated colloids. In case of the multimolecular colloids, small sized atoms or molecules, large number of small sized atoms and molecules, they just aggregate to form a colloidal particle, a particle which falls in the colloidal range. So examples of these are gold sol and acid, that is the sulfur sol. So next comes macromolecular. Macromolecular colloids are those colloids in which the particle size is very big, as in case of proteins, starch, gum, etc. So these are actually, there are polymers also which fall in this category, macromolecular. So these are very big particles which fall in the range of the colloidal particles. So that's why when they are mixed in dispersion medium, they form colloidal solutions. Then comes the category of the associated colloids. Associated colloids are those colloids which under normal concentration act like electrolytes. For example, soap solution. In low concentration, the soap solution, it acts as an electrolyte. But when the concentration of the soap solution is high, it behaves like a colloidal solution, because large number of soap molecules, they just get associated to form the structures called micelles, which fall under the category of the colloidal particles. So they behave like associated colloids. So these are main three categories of the colloids based upon the size of the particles. So this was all about the classification of the colloids, and if you have watched a video, thank you for sparing your precious time. Like our video, share it, subscribe it, don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.